So I'm starting off the healthcare question. You say hello. So I'll start with that question.
Okay. And then I'll go to the next general.
Yeah.
Hi, so I'm Maeve Nimmo, Guidance Counsellor here at Dunboyne College.
And I'm Derek Ball, the other Guidance Counsellor at Dunboyne College. Hope you enjoyed that session there on all of our healthcare courses at Dunboyne College. And we're going to go into some question and answers that are coming through there. First one in there is, if I want to go and study general nursing in college, how is college entry calculated, please? So the way it works is, after you would finish studying nursing studies here at Dunboyne College for the year, you would reapply through the CAO system next year. All colleges in Ireland, all third level colleges, keep places on most of their courses for PLC students. And the good news is you will not be in competition with other Leaving Cert students next year. You will only be in competition with PLC students. So all of the nursing courses in Ireland, they keep a cohort of places for PLC applicants. So you will apply through the CAO for those places. And when you come to Dunboyne, you'll study 8 subjects. And just to let you know, you will be aiming for 8 distinctions. In the case of nursing studies, you'll be aiming for 8 distinctions on your course here at Dunboyne College in order to progress on to nursing. But yes, you can apply for general nursing in all of the third level universities next year through the CAO system.
So a question here about the application process and if you're an overseas applicant. And basically it's actually the same for overseas applicants as it is for applicants here in the Republic of Ireland. It's through the Dunboyne College website. The online application is currently open. When you apply online, you will be asked to upload some documentation, and that would be a personal statement. There's a guide to writing that then on the homepage of the college website down at the end. And also you'll be asked to upload some current, some most recent results that you'd have. So with the current COVID situation, it may be 5th-year results, and there may be Christmas tests or something like that. So if you were an overseas applicant, that would be the exact same. You would have the most recent set of results that you would be asked to upload. You'll also upload a reference as well from your school that you've studied at as well. So either way, whichever way you're coming in, the application process is the exact same. It's applying online, and then you would follow the instructions that you receive to upload documents.
So another question coming in there about the structure of our year here in Dunboyne College. So the way it works is, it is a 1-year full-time academic course that you will be taking on when you come here to Dunboyne College. And what we do is we condense the full-time course into 3 days per week, or in some cases 3.5 days. But you will not be in college for the 5 days of the week. It will be 3 to 3.5 days. And the reason why we condense it is that you will also have work experience on one of the days. So work experience is a mandatory module on all courses, and you go out and do that 1 day a week, and also the other day in the week you will be using for researching, preparing for assignments and getting ready for exams. So yes, it's a full-time course for the academic year, starting at the end of August, finishing up in the middle of May, and you're on college for about 3 to 3.5 days a week.
And again, for the application process, being asked here, can you apply for more than one course? So while you can list your preference of up to 3 courses, it is one course that you're going to be offered a place on. So you will need to make a decision on which course is your favourite, because you will only get the offer of one place. So you really are only able to apply for one course. The other 2 are your backup ones really that you can put in. So basically, if you're in between 2 courses, you're not sure, what we would recommend to do is have a look at the prospectus either online, or the courses are listed also on the website. Have a look at each page, have a look at the course content, read thoroughly through it, and pay specific attention to the modules. That's the subjects that you're going to study, that you're going to learn about, that are taught on that course. It'll give you an idea. You want to be sort of looking at liking most of them. You're not going to love all of them, but you want to like the majority of the subjects that you're going to study, and that will maybe give you the idea of which one is your more favourite one. Also, maybe the career progression might give you an insight as well into what you should put as the number 1 choice to apply for.
Another good question coming in there is, who is further education for? And I suppose that's kind of changing over the last couple of years. It's no longer the alternative route. Further ed is now a first choice for most of our students coming into Dunboyne College. They have done their research, and they now realise the benefits of studying at further ed and doing a PLC course for 1 year before they progress on to third level. We'd have quite a few students who will come to us as well who mightn't have met the CAO points for their course of their choice. So they will come into us knowing that they can progress on after a year in Dunboyne College onto that particular course. We also realise that it's a very tough time for you at this stage trying to work out what you want to study in college next year at third level. So it's a great chance for you to come and get a taste for a course or a taste for an area or discipline. You get to come in, you get to experience, do you like it or you don't like it. And in some cases, students discover that they mightn't like that particular area, and there's nothing wrong with that either. It's actually a great experience for the year, and you get to learn all the skills needed to be able to take on third level the following year. Maybe it's a good question just to come in there. Somebody is asking, if you do a particular healthcare course with, say, like nursing or one of those, are you committed to that area? Are you stuck in that area if you decided halfway through the year that nursing wasn't for you, or if childcare wasn't for you? Are you stuck in that area?
Really good question, I suppose, and this is what is the advantage of further education, is that if the course length is a year, you're trying out a degree, maybe you're not sure about whether it's exactly for you or not, you get to try it. So we'd have students sometimes that would say, look, this isn't what I thought it was, or it's just not for me. But the award itself is still so valuable because it can be used nearly generically to access other programs. So an example would be, let's say you're studying the social care, you know that area isn't for you, but once you have your 8 modules and you have that full award, you can actually use the results then to progress on to other areas outside of social care, mainly in the IT type colleges or other type colleges, private colleges and things like that. So for example, IT Blanchardstown, which is part of the TU Dublin, you could apply for any of their courses once you have a full award. So if you had the full award in social care, you could use that to go on into business, or to go to sports, or childcare, anything that's completely different. It's up to you, but it means that your year isn't a wasted year in terms of you're not stuck to that sector. It's very valuable in terms of that sort of generic use of the results.
Great. There's another question in there asking us, what do we mean by different levels? There's a body called the National Framework of Qualifications, and they have designed this 10-level framework for all of the different levels of courses in Ireland, from primary school right up to third level. So if you're currently in Leaving Cert, you're taking either a level 4 or a level 5 programme, depending on which course you're taking. And when you would come on to Dunboyne College next year, you'll still be studying at level 5. So you'll be doing a QQI level 5 course. And once you successfully complete a QQI level 5 course at Dunboyne College, that then allows you, as we said earlier on, to apply and progress to third level next year. And you can apply for levels 6s, 7s and 8s once you have qualified with a level 5 from Dunboyne College. So the level 6 courses are usually diploma courses, the level 7s are usually the 3-year ordinary degrees, and the level 8s are the 4-year higher degrees. So you will be eligible after a year at Dunboyne College. Once you get your qualification, you will be eligible to apply for those courses through the CAO next year.
So we have a question here about the pre-nursing fees and things like uniforms and books, and if that's all extra. So the fee structure is actually on the website, on Dunboyne College homepage. You can use the top bar to search fees. Basically, there's a fee structure for courses that are mainly classroom based that will start at €450, and they range up then to €950 for courses that have more equipment, and that would include things like the nursing programme, beauty, hairdressing, cookery, things like that have a lot of equipment, or uniforms and such. That would increase the price. So the nursing is at $850, is that right, Derek? $850, I think the nursing is at. And that's the fee for the year. You're not asked for anything else after that. There's no more fees for exams or for uniforms. It's all included in that $850. So that's the fee for the full year.
Lots of questions coming in there, guys. Keep them coming. Another one there on work experience that we mentioned a while ago. When does it start? Basically, you have a certain amount of hours to complete in work experience throughout the year. There's no set time as to when you start that work experience, but our advice to you will be to try and get it started as soon as possible. I think it's over 60 hours work placement on the course. So try and get it started. If you got it arranged and you can get it arranged quickly, get it started as soon as possible, just so you're not panicking near the end of the academic year trying to organise it. But then, as I said, we give you a day a week on which to do your work experience.
And Derek, is there help in arranging that work experience?
Absolutely. There's a work experience team here in the school. Somebody coordinates that, and they will, if you're having trouble finding work placement, you can first of all go to your mentor. Each course that you see there, they're given a mentor. It's basically like a mammy or daddy who looks after you for the year, okay? And they will help you out with everything. But go to them first of all if you're having difficulty finding work experience, and then they will put you in touch with our work placement officer, and they have links with the various hospitals, nursing homes, etc. around the area, and they'll help you out. But the whole point of work experience is that you do try yourself first of all to get work experience. That's actually part of the process and marked within your assignments as well. So don't just come to us looking for it straight away. Put the effort in yourself. It's all part of the process and you get marks for it.
Brilliant. So the bus service, we've been asked about the bus service from Navan to Dunboyne. So generally in the buses, what we have anywhere outside of the public transport network, we have a private bus service. So there is a bus service that we have for Navan, directly from Navan to Dunboyne. It goes from a certain point and it arrives here at 9 o'clock in the morning and departs at 4 p.m. every day of the week. If there was any location that we find that there isn't public transport or there's a need that's emerging for extra transport links, then we'll put that on. So that's always something that's changing, forever changing. We're always looking at that. The student union, in fact, as well, would look at that and will have their input into transport links. You know, the main thing for us is to have people to be able to get here. So our catchment is so large and goes out into County Meath so deep that we do need to have buses that get here all the time. So we have several different private routes that service the college.
Another question coming in there, is criminology a good route for becoming a social worker? And Maeve kind of touched on this earlier on. It is, absolutely. But a lot of our courses there would lead on to social work. Everything from applied social studies, youth and community work, psychology, criminology and psychology, childcare. They would all lead on to progression at third level into the whole area of social studies, particularly in TUD Blanchardstown. So yes, criminology would be a good background. And look at the other ones as well, the social studies and the youth and community work.
Brilliant. And then if the question here, if you did fine arts in PLC, so further education post-leaving cert course, can I progress on to an unrelated course in university using the PLC, or would the PLC have to relate to my course? That's a really excellent question because well, when I talked a minute ago about using, as Derek had asked the question about using your results, if you're stuck to a sector, you can use your results sort of generically to go for something else. It works both ways. So for instance, in the universities, they'll a lot of times will want you to be studying specifically what it is you're trying to get into. So for example, if you were trying to study nursing, you'd have to be doing pre-nursing. If you were doing science, you'd have to be doing, you know, a science type subject. It's a little bit like, you know, the Leaving Cert. If you wanted to get into a science subject, you'd need to have biology. That's a good way to explain it, I suppose, and give an example. But then there are other courses outside of that, and generally in the IT colleges and other colleges outside of the universities. And that's not to say the universities, you know, you can't have that generic aspect as well, but generally it's outside the universities. You can use your results more generically across the way. So it doesn't have to be related to what you're studying, but a lot of times when it's very specific, they will want you to have the background in it to be able to progress forward. So it works both ways, yeah.
There's a good question there coming in asking what is progression like from Dunboyne College on to third level. That's a really good question, and we're delighted to say that over 90% of our students last year who achieved a full award at Dunboyne College were offered places at third level through the CAO system, and that was a serious achievement and down to the hard work of students and staff. Just to give an idea of some of the places, I'm not going to go through them all, but last year we had 90 students progress on to Maynooth, 29 to DCU, 233 of our students went to TU Dublin, 21 to Dundalk and 18 to Athlone. And then we have students all around the country. We have students in Galway, Waterford, Limerick, Cork, etc. And also quite a few of our students went over to the UK this year, particularly in the area of nursing, to study nursing at some of the universities over there. So over 90% of students progressing on from their level 5 here at Dunboyne College on to third level institutions. It's some achievement.
And back to work experience briefly, we have a question here about how to get that work experience, you know, and what Derek was talking about with, you know, trying yourself first and having that backup then through the college. And we're being asked here, would you ring the college, or how would you contact them, or is it certain hospitals or what? But we find that students will get their work experience in the healthcare sector in lots of different settings, not just hospitals, but in
residential care home places,
residential care settings, and other types of care settings. And any hospital as well is, it's not a certain type of hospital. So, and you would try to make contact with the hospital yourself, and you would ring, you would email, you would try to get in touch with the right person, and it would be a matter of, one thing leads to the next. So you would be getting a name of one person that might say, well, this person is the next step for you, and it would evolve like that. And generally we find, most of our students wouldn't have problems trying to get their work experience. We wouldn't
all of these places, like we'll say all the nursing homes and the hospitals, they're all well used to Dunboyne College, and we'd have a good relationship with most of these places, and they would take our students on no problem at all. So there doesn't tend to be a problem, especially as you said, in the healthcare area, to get work experience. Yeah. And it's a good question coming in there about facilities at Dunboyne College. Are we like other colleges, and do we have all the different supports? We do indeed. We're the exact same as any third level college, and we offer all the same supports. So for example, we have an academic support department that could be to help you with everything about preparing, reading briefs, preparing your assignment, research, referencing, all that kind of stuff. There's a counselling department, Maeve and myself are there to help you with anything for both careers and personal counselling. Look after you in that area. IT, you have a class mentor, as we mentioned earlier on, they'll look after you throughout the year as well. There's a learning support department, so if any forms of learning support, you can go in there and get support, no problem at all. And we have our library as well. So there's plenty of supports, just the same as any third level college. You'll be well looked after, don't worry.
And that answers one of those questions there about mental health supports in the college. So we do have a counselling service in the college as well, to support students in a personal aspect as well. Question here about is it difficult to get CAO courses from Doing Plc? And Derek has touched on it there, and he has given some of those figures about 90% of our students with a full award do receive an offer. And when we look at figures, our figures, all schools and colleges figures are issued by the CAO, and they issue their statistics of who, what schools, what colleges received places in about November or December each year. And this year's figures that we received were our highest so far, so it's growing all the time. So our numbers are growing within the college, which means as well we can have offer more different types of courses on offer as well. But it means then that there's more CAO applicants and more places. So this year was our highest, and out of having 966 students last year, we had over 600 offers on CAO. So it'll show you that it really is, a way forward in terms of that bridge to your next space, your next step.
Another good question coming in there on what do you have to get? What kind of grades do you have to get to progress on to third level? So the way it works is when you come to further education and take any of those courses from childcare, criminology, psychology, you will study a minimum of 8 modules on that course. They're subjects, we call them modules at further ed. And what you must do is you must pass all 8 modules in order to get what's called a full award. So a full award is where you pass all 8 modules, and that allows you to progress on to college the following year, onto third level. However, if you didn't get the 8 modules, you might say you've just passed 5 modules, you will still get an award. You'll get what's called a component award. So you get a certificate for each of those modules. And I suppose another important thing to mention there is it's not just all about progression onto third level. An awful lot of our students come to us to get a course and get a qualification and get into the area of employment. And all of our courses that you see there over the last 2 nights been spoken about, they all lead on to employment. And from a lot of our courses, we would actually have a 100% employment from them. So when you're looking at Dunboyne College, you can be looking at it either as a progression route to third level or as an employment route. There you go.
And also about the application process. So there's questions there about the application process and how and when to apply. So the application is open online currently at dunboynecollege.ie. This is the apply button that you would just click there. That stays open right through until September for late applications. However, if you were to apply that late, it would be, it would be uncertain whether you'd get your actual desired course, your first choice. What we would recommend is that you apply early, that you receive your offer by paying in full, you accept your offer. If you pay in full, we talked about the pay structure there between 450 and 950. If you pay in full and, let's say, didn't take up the place, let's say in August you receive a CAO offer, or you do something else that you don't actually want to take up the place, you can be refunded in full then until the end of September. So if you were to make a late application after CAO in late August or September, there's a lot of courses that fill up, like particularly nursing would be certainly full by then, wouldn't it, Derek?
And psychology and a few of them.
A lot of those, they're very popular. The healthcare department is very, very popular department and has a huge numbers. Psychology, we would have 3 classes this year, probably 3 classes of psychology and another class, social studies. So they do fill up. There is a lot of students, a lot of interest in those areas. And this year we have 4 classes of nursing and that's increased from 3 last year. So while we'll increase a number of class if we can get an extra class, but if there's only 2 or 3 people outside of a class being full, then that course is full then. So we would suggest to apply early and have that in the bag for yourself, so that you have that secured, and then you can go forward with anything else you're thinking of also.
Another couple of questions coming in there, really quick ones. Is the pass rate 40%? The pass rate at further ed is 50%, okay? So the pass rate is 50% on your courses. What should your photograph be like? Keep it fairly simple, just shoulder and head, that's all you need to have in the photograph. So don't be worrying too much about that. And somebody asked there, if I start a course in September, can I change it? The answer to that is we will consider everything, okay? If you did find yourself on the course, and we'll say after the first week or 2 weeks, maybe up to the end of September, if you found that you really were on the wrong course, come and chat to Maeve or I, okay? We'll sit down with you, we'll go through what you like and what you don't like about the course, and we will then see if there are places in any of the other courses that we could transfer you into in an area that might suit you better, okay? But do your research before you pick your courses and try and see what you'd like to do. But if you are stuck in September, please come in and chat to one of us and we'll see what we can do for you, no problem at all.
And leading on from that, it's really about, having a look at the course content, making sure that those modules suit you, so that you can try and make the best informed decision that you can. And before you start a course, that's all you can do is have an informed decision on the literature that's available to you. But as Derek says, there is leeway there in the first few weeks for movement within a course.
And it kind of links back to the whole area of trying a course. And that's the big benefit of further education, is that you get to come here and try a course. You all hear about the dropout rates in first year, but last year there was a study done and it was only 2% of PLC students dropped out of third level. Mm-hmm. So it really is a great chance to come in and sample these courses and see if they're for you and not for you. And as Maeve said, even if they're not for you, you still learn great skills throughout the year that will stand to you at third level.
And what we always hear at the end of a year, or even throughout the year indeed, that students have said, and maybe students that were disappointed with their CAO points have then turned around and said that it was the best thing that could have happened to them, and the best thing they did was choose to come here to Dunboyne College, because it's just such a foot up the ladder in terms of going into university thereafter, because you like what you're going to do. You've learned how to reference, you've learned Moodle, the in-house systems that colleges use for their notes, and all other aspects of college life. So it's really a win-win in a very short academic year.
Absolutely. Somebody has asked there, can they contact us directly? Absolutely. If you go on to the Dunboyne College website and go to Student Services, you will see the Guidance Council section there, and you'll see a picture of Maeve and myself, and under our pictures there are email addresses, so please feel free to email us at any stage. Any questions you might have about progression on to college or about coming to further ed or anything at all, get in touch with us and we'll do our best to help you. We'll get back to you as quick as possible.
Great, I think that's all our questions that have come in, so we hope to see you in the future, and best of luck.
Best of luck.